What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Over the Octagon podcast. There is no events going on this week, so we're filling the time with a special guest interview. I'll wait and let you find out who it is, but he has a big fight coming up in May, championship fight. Big deal. Can't wait to watch that and get into this conversation with him. Don't forget, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, like the video. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music, make sure you're following the show. Leave us a 5-star review. We'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy, baby.
This is Over the Octagon. Welcome to the shit show.
That makes me laugh every time. Andrew Valdina, welcome back to Over the Octagon, baby.
What's going on, brother? Yeah.
Man, it's good to see your face again, bro. It's been a while.
Likewise. I like that intro you have, man. That's a lot of good memories you got.
Yeah, so it's I mean, we're in year 3 of doing the show, which is kind of crazy. And so yeah, that's a new intro that I put together for this year for 2025. So it's kind of culmination of all 2 years that we've already been doing it. And yeah, I try to get as many of you guys, like the fighters we've had on and events we've been to and all the stuff. So it's pretty cool. I still love watching it. And maybe that's like, I'm super biased, but I still like watching it.
I like it too. I've been seeing the rise of the podcast too since a couple of years ago too. It's awesome.
It's wild. It's interesting too when I watch that and I look at like some of those older clips and how like bad like shitty our like mics were, cameras were, or just all of it. I'm like, man, dude, like we've done pretty well so far.
Come a long way. It's good to look back on that shit though, you know what I
mean? Yeah. And you remain consistent, dude. That's like the biggest thing in anything you do in life, fighting or podcast stuff, or I mean, just anything you're trying to do. Like you got to be consistent in doing it. Nothing is an overnight matter,
Absolutely.
So that's the biggest thing. But so welcome back. We just fucking sat here off screen for 40 minutes and we're talking for a while, but it's good, man. I you're one of the people, like I told you, we really root for your success, to an emotional level. It's crazy. We're fucking nutcases. So we mean that shit. So let's get the necessary information out of the way. So you're fighting Cage Titan 71, May 24th. Your opponent for the Cage Titans, this is your first title fight in the professional level, correct? So
yes,
Cage
sir.
Titans Bantamweight title against Joe Penafiel.
Yep.
All right. Give me like your initial thoughts, kind of where your head is at. You're about 5 weeks out, we said, right?
About 5.5. Yeah.
5.5 weeks out. Give me like, where is your headspace at right now? About 5.5 weeks out.
I just truly feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, like at all times, man. Really, I think I just think it's all destined too. Like I'm one of those guys, man. I'm like one of those spiritual guys where like I really do think that everything falls the way it should. Everything comes together the way it should, And man, like I look like just like the quick backstory, man, about this. Like as an amateur, when I thought I knew everything, And
No
now as a
doubt.
pro, I still don't nearly know anything. But as
Good.
an amateur,
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything. Like I'm going into an amateur title fight, man, and just acting like someone I was and all this different shit. And I was like a few fights before Joe Pinefio fighting on the same card that night for the bantamweight strap when he won it. And I lost, he won. And now fast forward like 2 or 3 years later, man, like 3 years later, it's like it's just crazy how it all comes together, man. And I just have a better mindset about everything now. I think all those amateur bouts that I had and L's I took back then and the mindsets I needed to like figure out about myself, my perception about myself, I really needed to figure all that out. And really it brought me to this moment to share the cage with him finally. And I can't wait. I just I know what I can do to this kid, and I can't wait to show everybody in the world that watches what I can do.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, mindset. Yeah, you seem eerily calm to me, to be honest. Like the just super calm demeanor is good because it's like a calm confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what you said about destiny. So I'm going to tell you a side story real quick. Um, but I told you I have absolutely no agenda and I'm wildly unprepared for this episode. We're just going to fucking wing it. But
It's the way
I'm
I
going to
like
tell
it.
you, yeah, it's good. No, it's so good that way. It's so good. So I told you I went and saw JoJo in Connecticut at LFA or whatever, or for his fight at Foxwoods.
Yep.
So that week, man, I'm gonna forget everything that happened, dude. We caught like us as individuals, like me, Joel, and Nick, from the podcast, like us as individuals, we caught like so many W's that week. Okay. And then like the podcast in general, like we had like I think like we like hit some milestone or something somewhere on Instagram or whatever, you know what I mean? Like some big thing.
Like a follower goal. I think I
Yeah,
saw
like
that.
whatever. Yeah. I think that's what it was. So we whatever, like we were just catching like all these wins, right? I'm a white belt in jiu-jitsu, okay? So the Thursday before I got another stripe on my belt in jiu-jitsu, right? Great feeling. Great
Off to a
feeling.
good start.
Dude. So we're catching all these wins. I get a stripe on my belt. I forget, like shit was happening. Oh, Joel got a promotion at work, like a big boy promotion at work. We were catching all these wins. So I'm driving Friday after all this stuff happens. It was like 4 or 5 different things. Friday, I taken off work Friday. I'm leaving Friday morning to drive up to Connecticut. I called him on the phone and I was like, there's 0% chance that he loses this fight because it's just like it's destined. It's already
Mm-hmm.
been written. The way things are like falling into place,
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Nobody could tell me otherwise.
Mm.
And look, dude, and like I'm telling you right now, this motherfucker went out there and beat that dude's ass
Oh
in the
yeah.
first round. It was the greatest fucking thing ever. And I called Joel again after the fight, screaming in the lobby of Foxwoods. This guy, they almost threw me out because I'm screaming in the lobby by the door. The guy's like, "Yo, you need to fucking chill." I'm like, "Fuck you, you need to chill." You know, you don't
Oh, that's
understand.
awesome. That's a fucking
You don't
great week,
understand what
great
I've been
weekend.
through. And but so, dude, we're just catching too many wins. I'm like, yo, there's no fucking way he loses this fight.
You had a good
There's zero.
performance, man.
Yeah, and then he goes out, beats the dude's ass. I'm like, see, I told you, there's no way. So
It was
I
written.
knew, I knew in that moment, like before the fight, even I knew. I was like, it's over. Like it's already fucking over. I already know. Like I already know what the result's gonna be. I've fucking seen it. Like I've seen this show before. There's no way like things work out like that well for it to not be like the exclamation point. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
On this story or whatever. So yeah, I'm a big believer in all of that.
Mm.
And it's cool. I mean, so you have what do you I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about Joe. Um what are you kind of expecting? What kind of fight are you expecting?
So Joe Pineffield, the party. The
Yep.
way he likes to fight, he kind of likes to bring his opponents into like this big dog fight, into a big brawl. Um,
Right.
I think he is a seasoned veteran of an opponent. I think his pro record on paper is like 11-6 or something like that. And he's had a bunch of bare knuckle MMA fights at Game Bred that hasn't even gone on to his pro record. I think he's had like 4 or 5 of those. So he's got another 4 or 5 on top of that. Talking like a 22, 23 fight veteran. And which I'm really looking forward to. So as confident as I am in my ability and what I truly believe I'm gonna do to this man, I do know that he's a formidable opponent, man. I know he's
No
also
doubt.
gonna be confident. He knows I'm trying to take what he's got, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But like I said, he tries to bring his opponents into like a big dog fight. He's not too technical at anything, in my opinion. Um, you know, he also tries to play a lot of mental games, mental warfare leading up to the fight. He's already been trying to like chirp a little bit through social media, try to get my blood boiling a little bit. Unlucky for him, I'm calm, cool, collected, man, at all times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I enjoy it. It helps sell tickets anyway. People look forward to that type of shit. So
Yeah.
uh, I'm looking. I know that like I said, dogfight, mental warfare. I know there's going to be a press conference before this fight too, in person, and I'm sure he's going to try to get a rise out of me there and shit like that. So he's going to do every single thing that he can in order to get some type of edge over me ahead of this fight,
I
and
don't
that's
and maybe I'm kinda like maybe I mean, I'm definitely biased. I'm not even gonna lie and say that I'm not, but, like, I mean, what would it take to get, like, a genuine rise out of you? Because I can't
uh, I don't know, man. I
like, it would
really
have
don't
to be
know.
some, like, off the wall type shit, right? Like, you'd have to take it to, like, some crazy level or what? Like, I just don't see
He might
you as
have to
being
like
this
pull a
guy.
gun on. He might have to pull a gun out at me on like at the press conference or something. But even then, I'm so confident that I'd be like John Wick and I'd disarm him immediately and pop him. You know what I mean? So I don't really know. But as far as words go, man, I said this the other day. Like, I, if I truly believe in myself and I don't care about other people's perception of me, there's no way that anything can get to my head. And that's the honest to God
Yeah,
truth.
yeah. I agree with that. I mean, and this is all like fighting, outside of fighting. I mean, these are all things that are really cool because they ring true just in life in general.
It's universal.
It's universal. Yeah, great way to put that. Like, uh, just in life, like we spend so much time like worried about what other people think.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it holds us back to like just being able to do anything. Like I can't do this because what are other people going to think?
Dude,
Um,
it's instilled in people's minds at a young age, and it makes people believe that like we need to care and act a certain way because people aren't going to condone this. Blah blah blah. You got to rewire that shit, man. No one, don't
yeah,
give a fuck about what anyone thinks about you, man. You know who you
right.
are.
Yeah. So that's kind of been my mindset has changed on that. Like obviously was never always that way, as I don't think anybody really has always been that way, but my mind has shifted at some point just as you get older too, I think. Like, you know what I mean? Like I kind of like now, like who gives a fuck what
I know.
what so and so says or whatever. And there is a freedom in that, like there's just a freedom in that. Like you're not holding yourself back anymore. You're not holding yourself back anymore. So it's
Hmm.
cool to hear you mention that kind of stuff. I agree. I love kind of all that.
For
So
sure, man.
yeah, I mean,
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I truly like have learned like the most valuable life lessons through martial arts, and I'm just so grateful for it all, man. I think everybody in the world should do martial arts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just do something difficult, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Have
that's like,
adversity hit you.
yeah, that's really what it is. Like, do something hard. Like, we always just in life in general or whatever, like, we just have this just like tendency to like take the easy way out on like everything, find the easiest path.
Hmm.
Um, the trouble is, like, you don't really get the same rewards from the easiest path that you do, the harder route. You know what I
Yep.
mean? The harder route,
Yep.
there's something about that when you get to the end of it, you're like, "Oh, man." You're like a whole totally different human being.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I wanted to ask you. So we saw you a year ago. Um, Cage Titans 65, I think, was Memorial Day weekend of 2024.
It's a good memory.
Um, Dude, it was a great weekend. We had a phenomenal weekend.
It was
So
a
I'll
great weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome. We watched you win. We watched Joe win. We watched our man Princeton win in the first ever
Yep.
amateur small glove Muay Thai fight. It was solid. Our first time in Plymouth, which we had no idea what to expect. And I brought two Atlanta, Georgia Southern degenerates up there. They were out of shape or, stuck out like a sore thumb. But so after that fight, speaking of good memory. So after that fight, we met up with you after, talked with you a little bit, met your family, whatever. Awesome. My co-host said something to you that night, like title fight, right? And you said, you know, pump the brakes a little bit, we'll get there when we get there, whatever.
Mm.
So what's different now, a year later, from after that fight? Who I think was that Noah Abdil?
Damn, like an elephant. Yeah, that was no
Yeah.
Abdil.
So after that fight with Noah to like now leading up to this fight with Joe, what kind of change, like what has changed to where your mindset is different that you feel so prepared for this?
Um, so that fight against Noah Abdul about a year ago, man, that was May 27th or something like that. Or May 25th. I don't know. Something like that.
May
But you got it right there?
25th. Yeah, I got it.
25th?
Can you
Yeah,
No,
I
I
can't
can't see it
say
in
it.
your
It's all
screen. May
right.
25th, I got it.
But in that fight, I had a whole year layoff leading up to that fight from
Yeah.
different injuries I had and shit like that. So at that point, man, like that was another whole like self-reflecting path, blah blah blah, that I had to go on leading up to that fight, and it all paid off. And I was really happy with the outcome. I was happy with the way I performed. That was actually one of my favorite performances to date. The way I just went out there and just put on a pure MMA display. But
Yeah.
in my mentality, but after that, I felt like I still needed to get one more rep under my belt, like one more fight. I wanted to just go up against a little bit higher caliber talent as well, and that's when I went up against this kid Tyler Smythe, who was a multi
Smythe.
amateur champion.
Mhm.
He's a wrestler base. Um,
Yeah, stocky fucker. I remember that. I remember, yeah.
yeah, he is a stocky fuck. He's a tough kid, man. He goes up against
Yeah.
the toughest competition. He goes up against undefeated studs all the time, man. His record at the time was like 5-3. He's a tough kid. And to be honest, I wish I fought a little bit. I don't want to say better because honestly, I really almost didn't get touched at all. But I really wish I got the finish in that fight. But at the same time, having the full 15 minutes under my belt, experiencing that, realizing like, dude, my gas tank's good. Like I know where I could have put some finishing touches on there to get the job done and finish the job early. Um, and just kind of like seeing in real time, like my wrestling defense was great and stuff. I just wanted to have one more rep and just see myself tested again.
Yeah.
And then after that, man, it's like the party's the one that has the belt, and I think all my questions were answered that I could beat him. Not to say that I wasn't as confident then, because I truly believe I'll beat anybody that I sign up against, truly. But it's more concrete and solidified that I'm 100% getting this job done now. I just need to rep out one more time and have a little bit more maturity and just kind of see things how they are a little bit more. I don't
Yeah.
know if that
I mean,
really answers that well, but
it 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 makes a lot of sense because that fight against Noah was first round finish, really quick.
hmm
Um, Not a lot of cage time. So, like, as a non-fighter, we kind of hear, but like in the MMA space extremely deeply, we hear this talked about like all the time with fighters is like cage time. Um, One person that's like famous for it as of recently is Bo Nickel in the UFC. Like Bo Nickel, people criticized his last performance at Madison Square Garden.
hmm
Um, but his whole thing was like, I just got 15 minutes in the octagon. Like how
Yeah.
valuable that is. Why, like, what is the, I guess, where does the value come from in that? Just for people that may not like fully understand. Like,
That's
where did
actually a
you,
that's a great comparison you just made, honestly. I'm not saying it's anywhere near the caliber of how Bo Nickel fought, anything like that. I'm not trying to make that type of comparison, but I'm making it so where like it was just similar, like stylistic wise, almost too, because Bo didn't really get too
you
much
didn't get
damage thrown at him
touched?
either. Yeah, he didn't
No.
get touched. He did what he needed to do to win. He controlled the whole fight basically, so it's pretty similar, and a just different scale. But I think the value comes from just I truly think that like every minute that I spend in the cage, man, it's exponentially increasing the way I fight. You just you can be in the gym and you can spar these dudes, man, with some gloves and shin guards, elbow pads,
Sure.
but when you have like the real time of knowing that like true damage is trying to be thrown at you, and you don't have to hold back on the guy you're going up against, it's like I'm
Right.
going against a training partner. I'm not going to wing these right hands, man, and try to knock this dude out, crack his jaw,
Right.
break his arm with a submission. Like it's true freedom in the cage, like truly, like it's the best feeling in the world being able to do everything without limitation. So when
Right.
I feel that in every single minute in that cage, man, it's exponentially increasing my ability to like realize what I can do with all these seconds in there. And I think that's where it comes from.
And I do think like Smythe, for example, like that kid's better than his record kind of lends. You
Oh,
know what
for
I
sure.
mean? Um, like on paper, you kind of look at that and you're like, like records, whatever. And I think people make like prejudgments on kind of the skill set that has. Super tough kid, and I think he's a lot better than his record says that he is.
Hmm.
Um, and that makes a lot of sense, right? So like you're in the gym, you're training with people. Yeah, we're not breaking arms. Like we're not going to break somebody's arm. We're not like you're not hopefully not actually choking people unconscious.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like all these things, you are dialed back to some degree,
Hmm.
regardless of like how hard you're going. Um, some days are probably harder than others and more intense and all the things, but like you are dialed back to some degree and your partner's dialed back to some degree. And I think like we kind of know that, right? Like
Hmm.
that in the moment, in the sparring, in the training. um
Another factor that I think is like where the value comes from. At this point, truly, I think I've surpassed it, and I really do think that I'm just I'm trying to say as humble as possible, but I really think that I'm a performer. Like when it comes to the bright lights, I don't think they ever get to me anymore, like ever. I think that's past in the amateur days and early pro fights. Like, uh, it doesn't phase me whatsoever. But I think early on, that was a huge, valuable thing. And every minute that I had in front of thousands of people and stuff like that, and bright
yeah,
lights on me, that's pretty valuable too.
well, just even in genuine competition, right? Like like to speak on your first point, like that somebody's coming back to hurt you, you
Mm-hmm.
know um and how do you keep your composure in that situation?
Yep.
It's the toughest sport in the world. Like this is why we love it so much. There's so many different aspects to it, uh that that run on such a deep level. Like how do you respond to being in there with somebody that's literally trying to break your jaw?
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you respond to that? And so that makes sense as well, right? Like just the comfort of it, of being in that situation, of winning that fight, not taking any damage, knowing what's being thrown back at you. Because we see it all the time, especially in MMA. Like even like somebody that maybe is not quite as good as their opponent can win fights, can get a knockout, can get a submission. Like a lot of the times in MMA, like one mistake could be it,
Mm-hmm.
which is what makes the sport so exciting. Like, you could be pitching a shutout and you're fighting the perfect fight and you make a mistake in the last round and it's lights out and you're like, it's the craziest thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Um
Got to stay
so
locked.
Right. So to be able to do that, for 15 more minutes in the cage and be able to do that perfectly and get out there with the win, it makes a lot of sense. Why that would be valuable. But you have an opponent. now for this fight, obviously, that has a ton of experience in the cage. Has fought on so many different promotions. He just fought at Karate Combat. He fought for bare knuckle MMA. He fought
Mhm.
Cage Titans, obviously, like all these different promotions and spots. So obviously, like he's not going to be rattled, right? Like the lights aren't going to be too bright for him in any way either. This is a place he's been before. So if you guys are on level playing field in that regard, like where do you think you kind of gain your advantage against him?
That's huge too, right? Because I think this is one of the first, or at least one of the few opponents that I'm going to fight where I really don't think he will be rattled through bright lights and being there and stuff like that. What Joe is
Yeah.
good at, and I can compliment him here about, is that he usually is the bad guy, right? I mean, he's gone to Cage Titans. I think he's defended his belt maybe like 3, 4, 5 times, something like that at Cage Titans. But and he started off being the bad guy. People have grown to like him though there, and
Yeah.
so that's why it's gonna be also crazy. Side point is like we're both gonna have huge fan bases, in my opinion. Even him being from Florida, it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be loud. I love it.
Yeah.
But regardless, he travels everywhere, man. He's usually the bad guy out of state or taking on some hometown kid, blah blah blah, and he makes it like it's his own home wherever he goes. So he's that is what he's good at. At the same time, this really is my house, though. Like I've had every single fight in my career, amateur and pro here at Plymouth Memorial Coliseum. It's my favorite place in the world to be at, whether I'm fighting or not, especially when I am in the cage. Um, and I just live for these moments, man. I live every single day to can't wait to be in there, man. Truly. But since we are on the level playing field, like you said, get back to that question. Is I just think I really am better everywhere. Like I said, he's a tough opponent, and he's going to be confident. He's a tough. He's somewhat durable. I don't know how durable these days, but he's been durable in the past. His endurance is not bad, but I just think my striking is on point, man. My grappling is better. I train with some great training partners, man, that really believe in me too, and they really want to gear me up and make sure that I'm prepared as well. So I just think I'm checking all my boxes, and I'm ready to pitch a shutout.
I can't wait to see it. Oh, I can't wait to see it.
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm excited.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
that was
awesome.
badass. I will say like that I mean when we came up and watched you fight Noah last year, you have so many fucking people there, dude.
Yeah,
Like
it's awesome, man. It's
I thought
awesome.
I was like, is this all his family? I'm like, this motherfucker's got the biggest family I've ever seen, dude. There's fucking 50 people all wearing his t-shirts. They're all sitting together. Everybody's fucking screaming. There's 3 different Gladiator banners.
The flags,
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
But
that
it
was
was
fucking
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was like it was like one of those moments. It is a really cool venue too. Like we've gone now and like watched big time fights, UFC stuff. We've watched regional fights at so many different locations, like all over the country.
Hmm.
It is, there really is nothing like that as far as an atmosphere goes. Um, I've said this about Cage Titans and about Plymouth Memorial Hall like so many times. Plymouth Memorial Coliseum. I'll keep it
Yes,
to that.
sir. I wasn't
Yeah,
gonna correct it, but I like it.
I picked it up, so I'm gonna rock with that. I heard you say that, so I'm gonna rock with that.
Let's go.
So like there really is no atmosphere like that. It's everywhere else we go. There are people that show up to see a specific fighter.
Hmm.
When that fighter fights and that fight is over, those people leave.
Hmm.
And then somebody else comes in, more people come in for the fighter that's fighting next, or two, whatever. That fight happens, those people leave. Like people don't hang out all night. And that was not our experience when we went up to Plymouth. Like we
Mm.
sat next to the same group of people. We talked to them the entire night. They were obviously there to support someone, but like they were there from opening bell of the kids grappling match to, the main event,
Yeah.
which I think was a light heavyweight title that night.
Okay.
But we're there all night, right? And just the way that it obviously, like, this has been talked about so much about that venue is what really makes it the Coliseum. Like, just the way, that those stands, you're almost on
Mhm.
top of the cage,
Oh, yeah.
So it is truly a unique venue, um,
Dude,
and
it's
they
the
pack
stadium
people in
style
there.
seats, man. Like you said, there's no bad seat in the house. The upper balcony
No.
is still basically on top of the cage. And the floor
Yeah.
seats, you're like fucking like a pebble throw, a pebble lob toss away from the cage, dude. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I think I coulda touched the cage from where we sat last time, and I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody would stop me. Like, I was just
No.
like, we were so I'm like, I don't drink, obviously, I'm sober, but both of them were shit-faced. And so, Nick, our other co-host, Nick, way more so than Joel, like Nick just does shit and makes shit happen, and, like, he's the guy kinda like the wild card, so, like, in the friend group, like, you just
Yeah,
never
yeah.
fucking know, um and so whatever, anyway, so, like, he's the one that said that. We're sitting there, he's like, "I bet I could just fucking grab the cage right now." I was like, "I don't think you should," you know what I mean? Like, we don't need to find out. But it is a really cool, it is a really cool venue. This
It
guy
is.
this guy's been there before, but this is your house. Um, I messaged you not that long ago either because your walkout song came on the radio.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was driving. I forget, I was at work or something, driving to work or from work. I think maybe I just left, and it came on the radio, and I was like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, this song never got me hyped up before, but now,
Dude,
dude, a little
many
Jim
people have
Croce,
said that.
dude. It's
It's
changed.
crazy. Yeah.
Where, I don't know if we asked you about that. Why that song? It's kinda
S
unique for a UFC or for a MMA walkout song.
It is unique, man. I really think it's like I made it my own a little bit too. But so my first ever amateur MMA fight ever, first one ever.
Okay,
I walked out to All the Lights by Kanye West,
okay.
and I just thought that was like, oh yeah, all the lights. Like I'll walk out, dude. All my people are there. I'm gonna go knock this kid out in front of everybody I know. Look like a badass, sound like a
Yeah.
badass. Like didn't go my way whatsoever, man. And I think that was a huge learning lesson. I think like
You lost the fight?
oh, second round knockout, second round TKO loss, dude. It was
Oh,
brutal.
that's actually sweet, though. That's such a good story. Yeah, I fucking went out there, All the Lights by Kanye West. Yeah, how'd the fight go? Yeah, I got knocked out, dude. You're like
Yo, I deserved it. I deserved
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
man. That's also destined. You know, destiny's not always a good thing, man. But that one was also destined, and I think it was just something I needed to learn early on. And I'm grateful that the big man upstairs did that for me, man. But regardless, the next fight came, man, and I was like, nah, I got to stay true to who I am. I really gotta represent myself in like an honest manner, man. Not like for anyone else's perception, like we were talking about earlier, and like
Yeah,
really just like for my own reason. And I was like, dude, this song just rings home. Like every single line about it, every word. Jim Croce's the goat, man. I
yeah,
truly I'm an old soul, man. I love my oldies. So yeah, and my family loves Jim Croce, man. You know, so it just I just felt right, and it's stuck every single time now.
yeah. It's such a good one. I don't know that I knew what your walkout was. Maybe I did, but I feel like I didn't leading up to when we saw it live. Here's the other thing, like, you have so many people there, and a lot of your family there, right?
Hmm.
So, the thing that gave me the kinda goosebumps with the song and with the walkout is I've got a name, right? You're in, your home coliseum, your arena, your people, your family. Um, what like, you're kind of representing for the Valdinas. You
Yeah,
know? There's a lot of people there. Like, the
yeah.
whole clan was there, dude. I don't know if they're all related to you or not. It seemed like it. There's so many
Mm.
fucking people, dude. I said to them so many times, I'm like, "Dude, this guy's got the biggest family I've ever seen in my life, dude."
Yeah, man. It's fucking awesome. It really is. And It's funny, and actually, the video that you took and you threw on your YouTube from that night, you threw like a bunch of montages of like the trip up there, like my
Yeah,
walkout,
yeah.
my fight, all that stuff, dude. First of all, that's one of my favorite videos. I actually go back to that quite a bit, and I might be posting part of that video soon. I'll give you guys a nice little fucking tag, but
Please do.
uh, after I beat Noah Abdil, there's a point in the video where like I'm on top of the cage, and I don't know if it was one of your boys or if it was just someone in that little section, but they're like, "I'm changing my last name to Valdina."
Yeah.
It was
That
hilarious.
was
It was hilarious.
that was Nick.
Was it Nick?
That was Nick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that line. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that was so cool. The other thing, the your walkout there or whatever, um, I mean, obviously, like, we had never been there before, and like, they give us, like, the media things or whatever, cool, and they're like, "You can go or walk around, do whatever."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Fucking careful, dude. Like, careful." You know what I mean? Because like, we're gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like, you said we could go and walk and do whatever. They're all like awesome people though.
Yeah,
So, but like the walkouts, like for all of you guys that like we specifically kind of came there to see, like I just walked right up to the steps.
it was
You
awesome.
know,
Yeah, I gave you
I just
fucking
walked.
knuckles there.
Yeah, I just walked right up to the steps. I'm like, fucking, I'm gonna fuck these people, dude. I'm walking right here. Fuck them. This one guy that I like walked in front of, he was like, "Are you allowed to just like walk wherever?" I was like, "I don't know," and he was like, "All right," and I was like, "Cool, man, thanks." I'm like,
Oh
"Sorry, dude,
yeah,
this is happening. I hate to tell you, but like, this is happening. I'm right here.
I loved
You'll
it,
be
man. I
okay."
loved it. That's what you should be doing, man. You got your own personal freedom with that media pass, dude. And you
Yeah,
made that
yeah.
whole trip up there. You know what I mean? Make it worth it.
Yeah, that's kind of like that was kind of our mindset. Like, fuck it, dude. We're just gonna
Yeah.
do everything. We're gonna do the best we can. That was the first time. I'm glad you brought up that vlog too, dude. Thank you. That makes me feel good because
Dude, I love it. You guys did a good job with that.
that was the first time I ever ever did anything like that. Um, and like we're working on that. Like we're working on doing stuff like that a little bit more too. Like we just did one when we went up to Madison Square Garden for UFC in November.
Yep.
I made one, when I went to Connecticut or whatever. Like we're trying to make some of that kind of content too. So I appreciate that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's good to look
Hell
back
yeah.
on, like I said too, man. Like you can look back on the whole journey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sick. Do you ever like so do you, you've brought that up now a couple times. Do you do that for like your career? Like
What's
reflection
that?
like that? Look back at old fights, old places you were? Like how
Uh,
often is that something you do?
I think it goes through phases, but I do it quite a bit. Just because, like, dude, like, this ain't gonna last forever. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
know that, and I'm enjoying every single moment. I try to live my life to the absolute fullest. I truly can. Um, and the fact that I get to do what I love every day, man. Like, I'm not looking back at memories I can't stand. Like, these are memories that like not many people get to do in the world, man. You know what I mean? So
no doubt.
I get to. I mean, uh, it goes through phases. Goes through phases. If I have a long
Yeah,
layoff where I haven't fought in a while, and I really want to like rekindle that flame in my mind and be like, oh, let me look back and see how that felt. You know what I mean? I'll
yeah,
look back at that. It usually tends to be the either obviously the videos of like a finish, but it's usually goes back to like the walkouts. And it's for some reason, and I think it's just because I have true gratitude of like every single person that supports me, and like hearing them scream my names at the top of their fucking lungs, dude. Like that means a lot to me, and it's not coming from a like a conceited standpoint. It's coming from a
sure.
true like gracious feeling that I have for
Yeah,
every single person.
yeah.
Truly, it's awesome.
When I do think like I mean, at least for me, like for us, like when you kind of look back at like old moments, you see kind of how far you've come.
Mm,
It makes you like appreciate what you have and where
hmm.
you are. And that relieves a lot of pressure and stress too, you know?
Yeah.
Like everybody has struggles in life and whatever, and you have something come up in your life and you think your life is going to be over and you're never going to get through this valley, this low spot that you're in, whatever. And then you also have peaks and these like incredible, similar to like what I was talking about earlier, right? Like that amazing week that we had, probably 2 weeks after that, I got my dick kicked in for 5 days and life fucking sucked, but like, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But when, you're kind of on those moments, you look back, like it makes you really appreciate like where you are, how far I've come to be here. This isn't, you
This
deserve it,
ain't. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
The valleys you end up in, it's not the end all, brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's
Right.
more to
But
come.
even on the other note, right? Like the high spots in life or whatever that we have, like they don't last forever either.
Mm-hmm.
And like the thing is like, man, and this gets like, I got to be careful here because we'll go down a rabbit hole of like mindset conversation that like I'll start, but like there's a piece that comes with that, right? Like when I accept both sides of that coin, that the bad doesn't last forever. This is a temporary situation, but the good doesn't last forever either, right? So like then I find myself able to just kind of stay here. Like I appreciate the good, I understand the bad. I know it's not going to, kind of last forever, but whatever. Um but that's kind of what reflection does for me, right? Like you look back on those things helps you really appreciate kind of the journey, how far you've come and look at where you're at and you're like, fuck, man, this is crazy. What a fucking
Yeah.
life.
I think you're going about it pretty freaking well, dude. Honestly, because like you said, like that even keel, you can't get too high, you can't get too low at any
Yeah.
time. So of course, you can have your moments of getting there, but it's
Hell
good to
yeah.
come back down a little bit too.
Yeah. It's not that you don't want to be there, right? Like, but when I am there, acknowledge the fact that like I'm there and be able to enjoy it because I know that it doesn't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're able to
You're in the
truly
moment.
appreciate, you're able to truly appreciate the spot that you're in.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's nothing like that. That's like the experience I had even in this, like as we're kind of doing this. Um, we had that experience so much when we went up there and saw you guys in Massachusetts last year. Like, what a fucking random ass life that we're living right now to where like, we just decided to do this thing. Now we like are in Massachusetts in Memorial Day weekend watching dudes beat the shit out of each other. uh it's just like life is weird, dude, like that. Like what are the odds like this is where kind of we end up, um and we meet people like you and your family and we have great conversations and we build these great relationships with people that without fighting we would have never otherwise met.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you start to
Absolutely.
think about all these things, you're like, wow, like, dude, life is a trip, dude. And when
It
I
is,
think
man.
about it like that, I'm just like, dude, nobody has it better than me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's the mindset. Like, whether I'm here or here, irrelevant. Like, you think about those moments when I'm here and I realize I'm there and I just go, oh my God, dude, nobody has it better than me. I have the
It's a good
greatest,
life,
like,
man. Life
this,
is good.
right. We were talking earlier, like, oh, first world problems. You know what I mean? But it's like, even those, who fucking cares, dude?
Yeah.
Like, look at what we're doing right now. Like, we're sitting here on a fucking Tuesday night talking about you about to be a professional bantamweight MMA champion. I live in fucking Delaware. What a crazy. See, dude, you should have never got me started. I tell you.
We're right where we need to be at all
Dude,
times.
it's perfect. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's perfectly perfect. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter what, everything is exactly the way it is supposed to be. It like you said earlier, it's destined. It's already been written. The result of this is going to be the outcome of everything that you've already done to get yourself to this point. It's already done deal. You know what I
I
mean?
love this, man.
I
This is my type of talk right here.
All right, cool. All right, because sometimes, dude, I'll be losing people doing some stuff like this. They
No,
got to
this is
reel
good
me
stuff.
back in.
Just the real shit, dude.
It is, bro. This is what I like live for. I live for this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get back to some podcast topics. I don't want to keep you all night because I will. I'm telling you, bro, I'm going to talk about this shit all night.
You're good.
Um, so I want to talk about your team a little bit because I
Okay.
think it's worth talking about. Um, you have some really great guys kind of behind you and with you every day. What is that looking like nowadays? Like what is your day to day, or I guess what does your week look like in a fight camp? Like up to this point, you're 5 weeks out, almost 5.5 weeks out.
Hmm.
What does your week look like? Like, and how does your team and who fits into that picture?
Well, it's a lot of traveling every single day. A lot of hard work every single day, truly. Sundays, I usually take a rest day or bang out some private lessons in the morning. Make a little dough on the side for all the gas money and shit. But no, my team is so like my head coach, this guy Pete Luciani. I don't know if you met him at Cage Titans.
I don't think so.
He's a wild man. He's friggin' crazy, but he's like a savant, dude. He's a friggin' he's got the best mind for MMA I've ever met. Um, and he's opening up his new gym in New Bedford, Massachusetts, called Hook and Roll. So
It's a cool name.
yeah, it is, and it works on a bunch of different levels, man. Obviously, like you're hooking and rolling, right? But it's also like jujitsu. You're hooking and you're
Yeah,
rolling and shit. You know,
yeah,
it's awesome.
yeah. It's a great
But
name, actually. Good
yep.
for him.
It's good stuff. Gym's gonna be it's mainly like three main guys. Mainly Pete Luciani's gym, but it's also this guy Mike Bromberg, who's one of the best jiu-jitsu coaches in Massachusetts as well. And this guy Kevin Rose, who's gonna be like one of the head kickboxing coaches there too. All great guys, all great minds to the sport, all true love for the sport and are very passionate about it. So I can't wait for that to open. That's gonna be open up in June 1st, opening day. But
Nice.
so Joe Poirier, who's my main training partner,
Yep.
he helps me every single day, man. He's the man. He just had a fight in on March 22nd, I think it was, and he got the dub. Finished this guy Gene Patrick out of shoot box. First guy to ever finish Gene Patrick as well. He's never been finished. But Joe was the first fighter to represent hook and roll. You know, Andy commentates. He says fighting out of hook and roll, badass. I will be the second. So
Nice.
I'm looking
Okay.
forward to that, man. We might actually, you know what? We might have one or two other fighters on the card that I am that will
Yeah.
fight before me. So they
Ah,
actually might be second or third, whatever. But
yeah.
I'll be the first hook and roll champ, thankfully.
Let's
But
go.
so I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm bouncing around a bunch of different gyms. I'm over at Mom's Basement with Connor Matthews, like I said, Joe Poirier, Drew Arpin, Ryan Genius. He's looking to fight on the card, make his debut. A bunch of different guys down there, giving me some great work. I travel up to this place called SOS Skill of Strength. That's where I get my strength and conditioning done in Northern Mass. They've been making me a goddamn unit. I feel great. Um, Lowe's on MMA. I'm there like once a week now, maybe twice a week if that. Getting some
Okay.
jiu-jitsu work there. And New England Cartel, I'm there like once or twice a week, getting a
Okay.
lot of just MMA sessions in, a lot of grappling, heavy stuff, a little bit of striking here and there. Good bodies there, giving me some hard rounds. And
Yeah.
regardless, man, there's so many names to name of training partners, but I'm truly grateful for
Sure.
all of them, man. Like that's what it's all about. We reciprocate, the work to each other whenever we have fights coming up, and that's what makes the world go around, baby. So
No doubt.
we're all feeling good.
So when Hook and Roll opens in June, will you, like, obviously there's a brick and mortar location, right, for that in
Yeah,
New Bedford, you said?
yeah.
So, like, will you be there kinda all, like, will you still be going to Lowe's on MMA and New England Cartel and Mom's Basement and all that stuff, or will it be primarily, like, training out of Hook and Roll?
I'm looking to make that a central spot now. Once that's opened up, I
Yeah.
mean they're gonna have work there 6 days a week, and I might bounce around a little bit here and there, but I'm really trying to get the majority of my work done there. Um,
Yeah.
I just believe in the work, man. Like Pete Luciani in particular, he is just forged me into an absolute killer with like one of the, like, just I'm so fortunate to have met him too because he forged my mentality above everything else too of like how to be a true martial artist and shit like that. So I believe in the work, and if he's there at all times, man, like that's the best work I'm gonna get.
Yeah. Okay.
And Mike Bromberg and Kevin Rose, man, those guys are like I said, like true geniuses of the sport that I'm looking forward to getting so much like one-on-one work with.
Yeah. Well, I guess I just wonder because, like, it is kinda unique, um And it's interesting that it's kind of unique to your area.
The traveling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like a unique to your area kind of thing. Like other places all around the country, like people pretty much are like do all their training out of one place. But you're
Mhm.
not the only one that's doing that. Like that's a kind of a common thing. And
Yeah.
I always just find that so interesting. Like, why do you I mean, like why do you think that is? Why do you think why do we need to go, whatever? Are the places just inconsistent? Nothing's around all, every day? Like what's kind of the story with that?
It's tough, man. The New England MMA scene is definitely unique where like there is so much traveling to go to all these different gyms. And to be honest, and I'm not throwing shade at any gym in particular,
Sure.
but
And
like
just to be clear, like I don't want to ask that to like, be like controversial or whatever. It's just like a
no, no,
genuine
no,
thing that
you're
I've
good.
noticed. Like even years ago when we met, uh, Jojo, like he does jujitsu here, he does kickboxing here, he does that, and I was like, why are
Yeah,
we? This is like it's so strange. That doesn't happen like anywhere else in the country. So it's just very
it's what
unique.
you need to do in New England though, is because like some of the best jiu-jitsu work you can get right is sometimes at Lozon MMA. They have really Joe Lozon's the head coach there. Tyler Menard is one of my boys, good training partner of mine as well. And he's one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in the region. So when he teaches there, it's really beneficial to go to his class, right? Stuff like that. Same with
Okay.
Joe
Yeah.
Lozon's class and
Sure.
a few other instructors there at Lozon's. Um, Striking work, I would usually be traveling over to wherever Pete Luciani's located at the time, right? And wherever he is, I know I'm going to get good pad sessions and good footwork and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just tough because there's not any true MMA gym in the region where like it's close by. Uh, Having said that, hook and roll, baby, that's going to have the whole kit and caboodle, and
Right.
that's what I'm looking forward to. Is it's going to be a true MMA gym, and their number one goal is to forge champions,
Yeah.
and they've let that be known too. So I'm looking forward to just really finally having the central spot to dial in all my work, and yeah, can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. So that's very cool.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's just an interesting thing, man. I've thought about for like literally 2 years. Like I've thought about it so
Yeah,
much over the course of 2 years. Like, because even like, uh, like I said, like I always compare like or would look at what Jojo would do, and like Jojo's driving out to California to go to AKA, and I
yeah,
remember thinking like, why do you even need to do that? But it's because like that's where you could get like he would get the best training at AKA, and I guess at that time didn't feel like he could get that locally.
hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I understand that. So
It's
it's
tough to get
very
all the bodies in one spot too. Like, there's a bunch of studs in the region, like everywhere, right? Like, I think
right.
there are a bunch of studs in New England,
Yeah,
but it's tough to get every single person in the same room. So, if a good place to find, I mean, to each their own, right? If you want to go travel the AKA, by all means, I think that
sure. Yeah,
it can be a good move because at AKA there is going to be a room full of a bunch of studs. So that's just like it's just a gym that has a bunch of studs.
yeah, yeah,
And it's tough to do that in New England, to be honest, to get everybody in the same room.
yeah, yeah. It's just very interesting. So now hook and roll, what they're starting, and what it sounds like they're starting is there's a the bodies are in the room,
Yeah,
right?
there will be for
Yeah,
sure.
the bodies are in the room. Um, yeah, that's exciting because I
Yeah,
agree. Like I think that you look like regionally, obviously, like we're big UFC guys, and we look at the gyms right all over the country and where these guys come out of, and you look at the teams, and well, not even all over the country, all over the world, right to that level. Um, there's always like these like kind of elite gyms that forge their name because they have a team of fighters that come out of there and, make that gym's name what it is. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So it's very cool that you kind of are getting to have that opportunity to, put New England on the map. Give a gym that in New England area where like it hasn't really been for a while.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Um,
sir. I
that's pretty
want
cool.
you know what? It's really cool too is that like the three main coaches, like I said, Pete, Mike, and Kevin,
Yeah.
and like all the young guns like me, Joe, these amateur fighters that are going to be coming up, like Ryan Genius, Drew Arpin, all these different guys, man. Like, we all have the same common goal in our mind. Where like just to compare, man, you got like what's a big gym these days? I don't know, like Fighting Nerds, dude. Like Fighting Nerds is real trendy right now, right? They're doing really
Yeah.
well. Once we're rocking and rolling, man, in a couple of years, people are gonna say, "Holy shit, Hook and Roll, man, 20-0 in the UFC." It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be
Yeah.
absolutely nuts.
Yeah. There's another one just really because of like Karate Combat, I think, but they got a bunch of UFC studs coming out of there too, is Goat Shed in Florida.
Yep, yep.
It's owned by the president of Karate Combat. And like it's gone viral for like some of their training methods are pretty unique because they're
Mhm,
like, I think they train like a fight. Like I've seen people get knocked out in that gym, get choked out in that gym, those kinds of things. It's a little wild. And they like love it like that, which is chaotic. It does good for social media and for views, I think, because it's very unique.
mhm.
Um, but then you get all of these like very successful fighters coming out of there, and you go, all right, wait a minute, but there's a bunch of them, right? So that's kind of my point. Like, but those gyms don't become big names just because of just because they're a fucking gym. They become big names because of the fighters that come out of them and the success that those people have.
Mhm.
Um, so it's very exciting and cool to Hook and Roll. I'm in, dude. Sign me
Yes,
up.
sir.
I'm
Big
with
things
it.
coming, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. So what does that mean? I saw you guys were at Mom's Basement this past weekend, right? You were watching UFC fights.
Yep.
Were you there?
Oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah. All right. I think that's how I saw it. So I mean, what does that mean? Like, same kind of question, I guess, as far as Lozon. Like, you've been in Mom's basement now pretty consistently too
Mhm.
for a while. What does that kind of mean for that? Like, same kind of thing. Stop in there. You'll still be there on occasion,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
just not
what
to the degree you are now.
to be honest, Mom's Basement, what it really was, the main goal of it, at least in my opinion at the time, was like it was just a good place to get some work in for the guys that were locally like centered around there, like me, Joe, Drew,
Yeah.
Connor. Pete
Yeah.
Luciani's our head coach, right? And he would kind of just bring us he would come in and give us a bunch of drills that we can do because it was mat space, there's a cage there and stuff like that. And it was
Right.
just really convenient for all of us. Thank you, Connor
Yeah.
Matthews, for helping us out there, right? But to be honest, like once we have like a New Bedford's like a hop, skip, and a jump away from there. It's like a couple towns over. So
Okay.
it's gonna be a legit gym, matted up walls, matted up poles, 10 Fairtex bags, bro. Like there's gonna be a cage and a ring there eventually too. So it's gonna be legit. And
Yeah.
we're all gonna be able to just go there for all the work we need.
Yeah.
But having said that, like you said, Mom's Basement, dude, like I'll definitely stop in from time to time if I want to get some extra work in and get some work in with my boys.
Well, I guess like how, and maybe this isn't a question for you, but like how much longer does he do that, you think?
Who's that?
Like how much longer does Connor have a fucking gym legitimately in his mom's basement?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know. I know like what Connor's like to do in his mind is he wanted to become a gym owner and a coach eventually. So maybe once his I know he's still signed to the UFC. He'll get another fight soon and hopefully get a dub there and see how everything goes. But eventually, whenever his career ends, whenever that may be, like I know he has put thought into being a coach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe eventually he'll take Mom's Basement out and throw it into a different location and
Yeah.
and really try to take off from there. But I don't know exactly what he wants to do with that, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's such a unique situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But it makes sense. Like this is kind of the result too. I think of like obviously like COVID and lockdown and shutdowns and um then like you were saying, like people travel all over the place for a gym. Like it creates this necessity for a place like that. Like
hmm
for somebody to be like, I can fucking throw a cage up here. You know what I mean? I can throw some mats in a cage up here, you know?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean it'd be awesome to see uh, more established spots. And I'm excited for you to kind of to see what that level up looks like.
yeah,
Because I do think that, you know, with everything that we've seen throughout fighters' careers, like when you do get fully established, like in a single kind of singular location, um, everything's kind of on the same page. Your training is like very dialed in that way.
yeah.
Uh,
I
I'm
agree.
just excited to see that, like what that kind of level up looks like in a really professional setting, and it's gonna
I've
be
been a
badass,
friggin'
dude.
I've been a friggin' nomad just floating with the wind, bro, my whole career. You know,
Yeah,
and I'm so grateful for all the spots that I did end up, right? Like, and
no
they've all
doubt.
forged
Yeah,
me eventually into who I am, right? And I think I was supposed to go to all these different spots. I wouldn't have met Joe Lozon. I wouldn't have met Pete Luciani. I wouldn't have met Mike Bromberg, Kevin Rose, all these different
it
people,
kind
right?
of started for you with Lozon, right?
It did. It did.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
I
And
remember that we talked about that one of the last times we had you on, like way kind of in the very early days. That's kind of where it started.
yeah, it did. Yeah. It was man, it's been a crazy ride, dude. But uh I think like I just know in my head that like this is the spot to settle. You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah,
is this is it.
yeah. When you know, you know.
hmm
It's the same. Hey, I'm gonna do it again, dude, but I can't help myself. It's the same thing. It's the same concept and the same thing that we've been talking about throughout this entire episode. Like
Yep.
that is also true, right? Like when you know, you know. Like when things are right, they're right, and when it
Yep.
just falls into place, and like this is it. It works out that way.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I'm excited, man. That's awesome. So all right, we talked about your fight a little bit, talked about your opponent, talked about what to expect. Man, we talked about so much.
Yes, we did.
Where Let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
How is life outside of MMA?
Life is life is good. It's a good question. But to be honest, like I don't want to sound like this cliche guy, man, right? But like I really do make this my life. And I've tried I think like this is how I like to keep my mentality, truly. And to each their own. Some people might think it's ridiculous, and some people might think like I maybe that's not the way they'd want to do it. They think they could do more, and like, but I put myself in this mindset where you only have like so much mental capacity every single day to just deal with things, put your mind into thought about things, think about what you want to do next, what's in front of you, what you want to do, what you're looking at, watching on TV and shit. And if you only have so much this is my philosophy, take it or leave it. But if you only have so much mental capacity every single day, I truly try to like put almost all of it into just thinking about this stuff. And that kind of means like, I mean, I do my family obligations, right? I love my family to
Yeah,
death. Family first always, right?
yeah,
And I'm always going to be there for them and try to do everything I can, but they also understand that like I've made that philosophy my life where like
yeah,
this is it. This is all I do every single day. And so everyone's on the same page where like they know where I'm at every day. It's traveling to different gyms, going to get the work in, resting, recovering, eating. It really is it. And outside of the training, I guess you could say it's good. I mean, I go home and study. Like, it,
yeah.
It's a boring
Low
answer
key.
for you. It's
Yeah,
a boring answer, but
it's
it's what I
not.
do.
Yeah, it's not. It's a real answer. It's kind of a mature answer in a way because it's like it's just real life, right? Like this is what I do.
Yeah.
It's very similar. Like I talk about this in my life all the time. Like, yeah, we have a couple things that we do, but like, family first. Like most of the time, like what we do is I go to work, I come home, you spend time with the kids, you spend time with the wife. Like this is it, like it's
Mhm.
not this like glamorous, and I don't think it needs to be. It doesn't need to be
No.
this glamorous thing. It's like kind of what scratches the itch for you, what satisfies you
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
in your life. So that's good. And then to kind of just follow up on that, like what is we I know you're not gonna I'm hesitant to even ask this because I don't want you to like take it really the wrong way, but like
I don't take
I
anything
don't
the
want
wrong way.
I don't want you to look past Joe, but we go out there May 20, and I'm gonna say we because we're riding. So we go out there May 24th. All right, we're there. We won't be there, but we're there. We go out there May 24th. We go out there May 24th, right? We shock the world. We beat Joe. We get the strap. What's the goal? Like what's the next thing? Where are we going to achieve? And if you don't, like I said, I don't want you to like look past. I know we're not going to look past, but what's the path we're taking? What's the next thing?
Well, like you said, man, I would never take that the wrong way. Like I feel like I can definitely answer that, no problem. I never look past my opponents, like you said, truly. This is my number one priority, and until May 25th. So all goes well. I beat Joe in the fashion I know I can beat him in my mind. I'm first just gonna be grateful for the moment, man. Like you said, we get to look back on these moments, and you don't get to do it forever. So I'm gonna just really savor it, at least for a few days.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
but then, man, like that's not it. You know what I mean? Like I truly think I'm just scratching the surface of what I can do, like on this path. Like I talked about as an amateur, I thought I knew everything. Now I truly believe that I don't know almost anything.
Yeah.
So it's like there's so much more to uncover in like martial arts and my training and like what I can figure out how to do, different ways to train, different ways to fight. And I'm just really looking forward to and also like we said, in every single fight you get exponentially better through every minute you take on in that fight.
Yeah.
So I'm just so looking forward to like embracing the fighter that I become after Joe. And
Fuck, that's such a good answer, dude. Fuck you,
no,
dude. That's
it's
such a good answer.
seriously, man. We're just scratching the surface, and I
Yeah.
truly, truly feel that in my soul. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the uh, the world's gonna know soon. The world's gonna know soon, bro.
Damn right. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Well, listen, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for coming
Thank
back.
you.
Genuinely, thank you for coming back on our show and spending so much time. I mean, we've been sitting here for almost hour and a half, hour 45 plus because we talked forever before this. But thank you for spending your time with me. I very much appreciate that. Um, give obviously our love to your family. Hope
Yes, sir.
everybody is healthy, stays healthy, is doing well. And yeah, I cannot wait to see what I already know I'm going to see May 24th at Plymouth Coliseum.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Uh,
brother.
and get
All I
that strap
ask,
back.
all I ask, if I can give a couple shout outs real quick.
Please do, of course.
All right. First of all, shout out to you guys. I appreciate it, man. You guys are freaking always treat me so well, man. All the support, even outside of the podcast, man. Hit me up nonstop. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to see the rise that you guys continue to have too. Um, Shout out to my team, all my coaches, all my training partners. Like I said earlier, man, you guys really level me up every single day, and I will always do my best to reciprocate that for you guys. Shout out to all the sponsors, man. So these are the new fight shirts, right? Bang Boom
Yes.
Bop, Gladiator Season. These are the hoodies too.
Sick.
Fire. You guys need them
Yeah.
hoodies, bro. So
Yeah.
then here's the sponsors in the back. I'm just gonna start rattling them off real quick.
Please do. Yeah.
All right. Shout out U.S. Golden Pawn out of Manchester, New Hampshire. Smart Installs, Drake It Exhaust and Brake, the hometown there. Invisaware, they've stuck with me since like my first amateur fight. They've been awesome. Blue Horizon Benefits, a newer one. They've been with me for like 3 or 4 fights now. Gifted Peace LLC, also been with me for like 2 or 3 fights. They're like a candle company created by my former college wrestling teammates. They're doing really well
Hell
with
yeah.
that. G Electric, residential, industrial, and commercial. Classic Cars of Palm Beach down in Florida. Face Off Fight Co. They've been awesome, man. They're at almost every single show. I think
I
you've even
got
heard of them.
I have your kit. Yeah,
Oh,
I got
let's
your fight.
go.
I have the rash guard, and the red and black, the fight shorts you wore. I think the ones
Against
you wore
Noah.
from
Abdil.
yeah, the
Yeah,
red
those are
and black ones.
badass.
Oh, they're sick, dude. People ask me about those all the time. Genuine,
Let's
like
go.
all the time in the gym. They're like, "Those are fucking sick. Is that like blood splatter?" I'm like, "I don't know, dude. They're badass." Yeah, people ask me
Those
about
are
them
actually my
all the
favorite
time.
too.
Yeah,
And then last but not least, Northeast Custom Granite, man. And that's it, man. I truly appreciate all the love from the sponsors, man. They help me get to all my training sessions, every single fight. And yeah, thank you for all the guys supporting me as well, all the fans and my family. And yeah, it's been great. Let's go. May 24th, Plymouth Memorial Coliseum. We take another head.
let's get it. Add one more. Add one more to the win column. Yeah, man, thank you so much, and we will catch up with you soon. Again, for the anybody listening to this, please don't forget, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, to the YouTube channel. I will include Andrew's links for his social media and stuff in the description of this video over on YouTube, as well as the audio only versions on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. So make sure you check him out. Give him a follow this journey that we've joined him on. Everybody that listens to this knows that we're some emotional motherfuckers, dude. So we get very invested. So this is where we're at now. So anybody that follows us, please go check him out. Follow him as well. Follow this journey that we're on. Yeah, subscribe, like the video, do all those things. And yeah, May 24th, baby. Let's get it. We'll catch you all on
Yes,
the next
sir.
one. Appreciate it.